What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you my DDD, or DDD, Different Dimensional Demons, deck profile. So basically, this deck has been something of an anime archetype that I've loved seeing support for. I love the historical references that some of the older archetypes have, such as King Genghis, Solomon, Crisis, Clovis, Siegfried, all of that. Basically, just I love the historical references in this from different rulers throughout history. This deck is a lot of fun to play, has a lot of complicated different plays that you can do, but at the end of the day, you're just enjoying a good DDD deck. Anyways, outside of the normal spreadsheet kind of algorithm, I wanted to at least bring this to you guys, see what you guys think of the deck build. If you do like it, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I do try to read everybody's comments that come in. Do note that I am a bit slow at them, and I am sorry for that. I try to get to them as fast as possible. Either way, let's go ahead and hop right into the main deck profile, where I can show you a little bit more about the deck. So, of course, there's three main cards that we play at 3, which are the DDD Doom 0, Doom Queen Machinex. Her pendulum effect is during your main phase. If this card was activated this turn, you can place one Dark Contract continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. You can only use this effect of DDD 0 Doom Queen Machinex once per turn. Its monster effect, Fiend, pendulum effect. If a face-up DDD or Dark Contract card you control except DDD 0 Doom Queen Machinex is destroyed while this card is face-up in your extra deck, even during the damage step, you can special summon this card. Then you can destroy one card on the field. If this card is in your monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. You can only use each effect of DDD 0 Doom Queen Machinex once per turn. Basically, she's our capability of placing her in a pendulum zone, get us a Dark Contract that we need, and then if we get rid of her, we have further capabilities of doing other plays. To follow her up, we're playing 3 DD Savant Kepler. Its pendulum effect is you cannot pendulum summon monsters except DD monsters. This effect cannot be negated once per turn during your standby phase. Reduces card's pendulum scale by 2, minimum of 1. So the minimum the scale can be is 1. Then destroy all monsters you control with a level greater than or equal to this card's pendulum scale except DD monsters. If this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these effects. You can only use this effect of DD Savant Kepler once per turn. Target one other DD card you control, return it to the hand. Add one Dark Contract card from your deck to your hand. So outside of getting our spell search, it is a good way to bounce back the pendulum zones that we really want to interact with. Next, I play 3 DD Griffin. Its pendulum effect is you can target one fiend monster you control. It gains 500 attack until the end of this turn for each Dark Contract spell or trap with different names currently on your field or in your graveyard. Then destroy this card. You can only use this effect of DD Griffin once per turn. It's a fiend pendulum effect monster. If you control a DD monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. If this card is pendulum summoned, you can discard one DD or Dark Contract card, draw one card. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can add one DD card from your deck to your hand except DD Griffin. You can only use each effect of DD Griffin once per turn. So, outside of it being a paragraph of text, let me sum it down for you. If it is in a pendulum zone, target one fiend, give it 500 attack for each Dark Contract spell or trap on the field and in your grave. So it's just an attack boost, then destroy it. So it goes directly to your pendulum zone, or extra deck. But if it's a monster, if you control another DD monster, special summon it. If it's pendulum summon, you can draw one by discarding a DD or Dark Contract card. Or if it's summoned from the graveyard, you just add a DD card from your deck to your hand, except itself. So, outside of it being a good generic 4 free special summon sort of deal, it is an overall well-rounded card. Next, I play 2 DD Scale Surveyor. Okay, let me just sum these down for you guys, because there's a lot of text of these. DD Scale Surveyor is a pendulum. Its pendulum effect is during the standby phase. Target up to 2 cards in pendulum zones. Their pendulum scales become 0 until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of DD Scale Surveyor once per turn. So if you're going against a pendulum deck that you don't want to really interact with, you could drop both their scales to 0 until the end of the turn, during your turn, which is weird. You don't really utilize that effect. The main thing that we're utilizing it for, it's kind of like Griffin, to where if you control a DD Pendulum monster card, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then if it's a normal or special summon, you can make this card level 4, so it gives you rank 4 access. If this card is sent to graveyard or added to the extra deck, you can target one DD Pendulum monster card you control, return to the hand. So basically, you special summon it, make it a level 4, rank 4. Then if it is sent to the graveyard or add to the extra deck. So say you have Kepler on board with it, with a Griffin and Scale Surveyor. You basically go, make this level 4, Griffin's a level 4, overlay, go into a rank 4, detach Scale Surveyor, bounce back Kepler to keep while you can further your plays. That's basically all you're really doing. All right. Next is a bunch of one-ofs, but I do want to note that this is a very good extender overall. The one-ofs that we're playing are the DD Orthos, a DD Defense Soldier, a DD Savant Copernicus, DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, one DD Count Surveyor, one DD Lance Soldier, and one DD Necroslime. Overall, I might change this roundup of characters or cards here, as they are a bit clunky. If you draw into one of them, they kind of get a little weird. But Orthos is a free special summon if you take battle or effect damage, but you are locked into Fiend-type monsters. Once per turn, for its Pendulum effect, you can target a spell or trap card on the field and one other DD or Dark Contract card you control and destroy them. It's a great way of just popping spells and traps. Defense Soldier, he's just an 1800 defender, but you can target one DD card in your Pendulum Zone and special summon it, or you can banish one DD monster in your graveyard, and if your DDD monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, basically turning into an Ancient Gear monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one DD Pendulum monster from your face-up, extra deck, or graveyard to your hand, which can further help you with recovery. Copernicus, its Pendulum effect, you cannot Pendulum summon monsters except DD monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once while this card is in your Pendulum Zone, you can negate an activated spell effect that will inflict damage to you, then destroy this card. It's an optional. If this card is no more special summon, you can send one DD or Dark Contract card from your deck to the graveyard, except DD Savant Copernicus. You can only use this effect of DD Savant Copernicus once per turn. So my plays that I've had with it is where basically I send Surveyor, I've had Copernicus on board, bounce Copernicus after I've sent Lance Soldier, which I'll get to here in 1 second, and then basically continue up with other plays. But going on with DD Lance Soldier, it is a fun level 2 tuner in which you could target one DD monster you control, increase its level up to the number of Dark Contract cards that you control on your field and in your graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dark Contract card you control and destroy it. And if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of DD Lance Soldier once per turn. Next up is DD Necroslime, the OG. If this card is in your graveyard, you can fusion summon one DDD Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your graveyard, including this card. You can only use this effect of DD Necroslime once per turn. Next, we have Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. Its Pendulum effect, summed up, is special summon a DD monster, except if you special summon a DD monster except during the damage step, target a DD monster in your graveyard. Any battle damage becomes halved for the rest of the turn for your opponent if you inflict battle damage to them. But you get to special summon the monster from your graveyard, and then you take 1,000. It's just a monster reborn for a DD monster that you would like to utilize. If this card is no more special summon, you can target one DD monster or DDD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of DDD, Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, once per turn. Once per turn, you contribute one other DD monster, then target one monster your opponent controls, and then banish it. So it's just a good control board banish. And then we have Count Surveyor. Once per turn, if you Pendulum summon a DDD monster or monsters, you can target 3 monsters your opponent controls with the same type or attribute as each other. Tribute 2 of those 3 face-up monsters. If you do, the third gains attack and defense equal to the total attack and defense of the tributed monsters had on the field. Okay. Anyways, you're getting rid of 2 monsters to give your opponent's monster an attack boost. Okay. Anyways, the main monster effect is you discard one other DD monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is no more special summon, you can add one DD monster with 0 attack or defense from your deck to your hand, which would be our Defense Soldier, our Copernicus, our Kepler, a Queen Machinax, or our Scale Surveyor, in which we can further our plays. Now that we've gotten through the paragraphs of what pendulum effects are and their actual main deck effects, that's all the main effect monsters that we're running for the DD archetype in our deck. The one thing I will note is that if you're looking to really edit anything, Orthos can probably be cut for another Scale Surveyor, or if you're looking for a fun extra card that you can run, if you don't have hand traps, Swirl Slime, because that lets you fuse from hand, then you can banish it from the graveyard to special summon from your hand. So you can basically banish it, special summon a, say, Abyss King Ragnarok from your hand to the board, and then trigger its effects. Overall, there's a lot of capability for this deck to grow and has a higher ceiling than most. Continuing on, we have the spells for the DD archetype, which is the Dark Contracts. So we have 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. During your main phase, you can add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Dark Contract with the Gate once per turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So basically, it's our monster searcher for our DD monsters, which counts as which the DDD monsters also count as. So we can search our Zero Doom Queen Machinex to our DD Kepler to all those. The thing is, we're going to take 1,000 damage during our standby if it's still on the board. Next, I do play 2 Dark Contract with the Zero King. You can target 1 DD card you control, except Dark Contract with the Zero King, destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 DD monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except DD monsters. You can only use this effect of Dark Contract with the Zero King once per turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So basically it turns into, if you have anything in your pendulum zones that you want to get rid of or destroy, you can pop them and then summon something to the board to further your plays, or you can pop a card that is basically dead in hand that you have normal summoned or special summoned to your board, and then summon something that you can utilize to continue your plays. Then for the final DDD card, or Dark Contract card, I'm playing 1 Dark Contract with the Witch. You can send 1 DD or Dark Contract card from your hand to the graveyard, then target 1 card in the field and destroy it. You can only use this effect of Dark Contract with the Witch once per turn. All Fiend type monsters you control gain 1,000 attack during your opponent's turn only. Once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage. So it makes your opponent's makes your DDD monsters a lot harder to beat over because it gives it 1,000 attack boost. But you can also utilize any dead cards that you don't want in your hand or extra copies of these and basically discard them to pop cards on the field. All right, so since we got through all the DDD cards, let's look at the hand traps. This deck has a lot to really fit in because the DD core has really gotten minimized, in which I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Molcharmy Fualos for our draws, 3 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Dominus Impulse, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Nibiru, and 1 Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is our anti-hand trap. Ghost Ogre is just a great way to deal with a field spell that or monster effect we don't want the monster to hang around for. Nibiru, of course, you summon over 5. We're going to tribute everything that's face up and just make a big token. We had Dominus Impulse, which is a... If your opponent controls a card, you can activate this card from your hand. When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster, negate that effect. Then if you have a trap in your graveyard, destroy that card. If you have activated this card from your hand, you cannot activate the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of this duel. You can only activate 1 Dominus Impulse. So basically, if you activate Dominus Impulse, you can't activate Fualos, you can't activate Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, or Nibiru, but that's perfectly fine because we're more likely setting it as a further continuation, just as a better option to negate summons. And then Infinite Impermanence, of course, is just a better effect veiler in my opinion. That's all that I'm running for the actual main deck. If I were to really up it, or up any cards, I should say, I would potentially cut the Ghost Ogres and run a little bit more DD cards. Perfect example, Swirl Slime and the Lamia. I know they are a little bit bricky, but it just makes the deck feel a little bit more consistent with finding DD names. Next, on to the extra deck. We're playing 1 DDD, Flame King Genghis, level 6, Fusion Fiend. Requires 2 DD monsters. If another DD monster is special summoned to your field while you control this face-up card, except during the damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of DDD Flame King Genghis once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, by battle, or this card, if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target one dark contract card in your graveyard, add to your hand. Sorry, it's the old text. But basically, special summon a DD from your graveyard is something special summon to your board. That's a DD monster. So it further helps you with your synchro builds, link plays, Xyz plays, all of that. Next, I do play the 1 DDD Flame High King Genghis. 1 level 5 or higher DD monster plus 1 DD monster. If another DD monster is no more special summon to your field while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of DDD Flame High King Genghis once per turn. Once per turn, when a spell or trap card or its effect is activated, you can negate the activation. So that further helps you with further board control and being able to interact with your opponent. The new fusion, which is DDDD, Dimensional King Arc Crisis. It has a pendulum effect. You can target any number of dark contract cards you control, destroy them, then you can special summon up to that many Doom King pendulum monsters from your deck and or extra deck. You can only use this effect of DDDD, Dimensional King Arc Crisis once per turn. I might have said one too many Ds there. To fusion summon it, it requires 4 fiend monsters. 1 fusion, 1 synchro, 1 Xyz, 1 pendulum. It's basically the Zark of the deck. Must be either fusion summon or special summon from your face down extra deck by banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. You can only special summon DD Dimensional King Arc Crisis once per turn this way. No matter which method you use, if this card is special summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, and can attack all your opponent's monsters once each. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So, with it being a scale 13 and just a 4K beater, that is insane because you could just summon it by banishing the cards from your graveyard that you no longer need to utilize. So, that's all for the fusion side. What are we doing for the synchros? Well, we're doing 1 DDD, First King Clovis, the new synchro. A Fiend Synchro Effect monster, level 6, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner monster. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 of your banished DD monsters, or if a dark contract is on the field, you can target 1 in your graveyard instead. Special summon it. You can only use this effect of DDD, First King Clovis once per turn. If this card is banished, you can activate this effect. If your DD monster attacks a defense position monster this turn, it inflicts piercing battle damage to your opponent. So, along with the revival from graveyard or banishment, you have the capability of inflicting piercing damage. Next, we have the DDD Cursed King Siegfried. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner DD monsters, level 8. During either player's turn, you can target 1 face-up spell or trap card on the field. That target has its effects negated until the next standby phase. You can only use this effect of DDD Cursed King Siegfried once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, gain 1,000 life points for each dark contract card you control. Just another negation in which you can interact with your opponent. Then we have DDD Super Doom King Bright Armageddon, level 10. Dark Fiend Synchro Pendulum Effect monster. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack as the pendulum effect, you can target 1 DDD Synchro monster you control, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible with defense less than or equal to that targeted monster's attack, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. It is a Pendulum Scale 1. Requires 1 for its main monster effect. Fiend Synchro Pendulum Effect requires 1 DD tuner and 1 plus non-tuner DDD monsters. Your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects if another monster is normal or special summoned while this monster is on the field. Except during the damage step, you can make your opponent choose 1 pendulum monster they control, and all other monsters they currently control have their effects negated. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. It's a 3,500 attacker, 3,000 defender. It is just a big, beefy boy in which we can further utilize its pendulum effect if necessary. Alright, so we have gotten through all of the actual stuff outside of Xyz and Links. Well, what are we doing for Xyz? Well, for Xyz, I'm playing the 1 DDD Wise King Solomon. It's a rank 4 Fiend, Xyz effect monster, requires 2 level 4 DD monsters. You can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 DD card from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can target 1 DD effect monster you control. That effect monster gains the effect until the end of this turn. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict battle damage to your opponent, equal to that monster's original attack. You can only use each effect of DDD Wise King Solomon once per turn. Outside of it being a generic search, it just gets you some extra battle damage in there, which further helps you overall by turning some of the cards that you want that are Pendulum monsters into being able to be sent to the graveyard as well. Next, I play the 1 DDD Wave King Caesar, which requires 2 level 4 Fiend type monsters. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. At the end of the battle phase, special summon from your graveyard as many monsters destroyed this turn as possible. But during the next standby phase, take 1,000 damage for each monster special summoned by this effect. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Dark Contract card from your deck to the hand. You can only use each effect of DDD Wave King Caesar once per turn. So it's just a monster reborn for anything destroyed, while also getting you a Dark Contract if necessary. Next, I play the 1 DDD Marksman King Tell. It's a rank 5, requires 2 level 5 monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by using a rank 4 DDD Xyz monster you control as Xyz material. Xyz material attached to this card, attached to that monster also becomes Xyz materials on this card. Once per turn during either player's turn, if you took any effect damage this turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. It loses 1,000 attack and defense, and if it does, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 DD or Dark Contract card from your deck to the graveyard. So, being able to further burn and potentially finish out the game if you need to through effect damage, while also turning Wave King Caesar into a rank 5 play. Next, we play the 1 DDD Wave High King Caesar. Requires 2 level 6 Fiend monsters as he is a rank 6. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated that includes the effect of special summoning a monster, quick effect. Detach 1 material from this card and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Then you can make 1 other DD monster you control and this card gain 1,800 attack until the end of this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Dark Contract card from your deck to your hand. So that's an additional negate, while also giving us an attack boost. Then finally for the Xyz package, I'm playing 2 DDD Divisor King Deuce Machinex. Its pendulum effect is, while you have a card in your pendulum zone, you can target 1 pendulum monster you control or in your graveyard, special summon the card in your other pendulum zone, and if you do, place that targeted pendulum monster in your pendulum zone. You can only use this effect of DDD Divisor King Deuce Machinex once per turn. It is a rank 10 Fiend Xyz Pendulum Effect monster. Requires 2 level 10 Fiend monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by using a DDD monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. You can only control 1 DDD Divisor King Deuce Machinex in your monster zone. Once per chain, when a monster card your opponent controls activates its effect. Quick effect. You can detach 2 materials from this card or destroy 1 Dark Contract card you control, and if you do, attach that opponent's card to this card as material. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So outside of basically turning your Dark Contracts into ammunition to steal monsters and make them material, or just any card that your opponent when your opponent activates a monster card, making it into material, it further helps with board clear, and it's also a 3k attacker and defender, which you can turn any of your links or lower monsters that you don't really want to stay on the board as they can become bigger targets into further damage. All right. So that's all that I have for the Xyz, Synchro, and Fusion portions of this deck. What is the link package? For the link, I am playing 2 DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh. It's a link to Fiend monster that requires 2 DD monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except DD monsters. Also place 2 DD Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck in the Pendulum zones. And if you do, take 1,000 damage. If this link summon card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster or opponent's card effect while it's in the owner's monster zone, you can special summon 1 DD monster from your extra deck or graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect of DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh once per turn. So basically, you're wanting to utilize this monster to get your Pendulum Zone set so you can further your plays and do further pendulum mechanics. Then finally, we play 1 DDD Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. Requires 2+ DDD, or excuse me, 2+ DD monsters. You can target 1 DD or Dark Contract card you control, destroy it. Also, during your main phase this turn, you can conduct 1 Pendulum Summon of a DD monster or monsters in addition to your Pendulum Summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, quick effect, you can banish 1 DD monster and 1 Dark Contract card from the graveyard and negate the activation. You can only use this effect of DDD Sky King Zeus Ragnarok once per turn. Further stating that this deck has a lot of negation, a lot of different plays in which you can go through and set up various different boards. But overall, it is still basically a spreadsheet deck where if you have so many different pathways to map that you have a lot of capabilities of furthering the actual deck ceiling as you would like. Do note that this deck has a lot of capabilities in further growing, whether they release new support or you have a different method of playing it, whether it's including some of the older cards or just furthering your plays overall by cutting down hand traps, including more hand traps. It's basically up to you. But I did want to bring my build to you guys, see what you thought, and if you do like it, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?